Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're taking a fascinating trip down the German Autobahn, looking at a sector that's going through, a complete and seismic reinvention, the humble gas station.
It really is. It
Huh.
sounds mundane, but the strategic shift happening right now in European roadside retail is anything but.
Right.
I mean, we're looking at a market shift being driven by new consumer habits, the rise of EVs, and just a staggering amount of untapped profit. We're talking about unlocking an extra 10 to $12 billion
In Germany alone.
in Germany alone by the end of the decade.
Okay, let's unpack this. The core concept, as the sources put it, is moving from a pure fuel focus to food service. They even use the German phrase vom Kraftstofffokus zur Gastronomie.
And that phrase says it all. It makes it really clear that the old gas and tobacco model is, frankly, economically obsolete.
So the conflict isn't just about what you're selling, it's about why people are even stopping in the first place.
Precisely. The old model was, entirely vehicle-driven. It worked on a must-go logic. You stopped at a necessity. You needed fuel, you needed tobacco, a quick errand. It was purely transactional.
And almost always a pretty low-quality experience.
Oh, absolutely. Low-quality hospitality.
Oh,
So if that was the old must-go, this new Foodvenience model redefines the station as a want-to-go destination.
a destination. That's a big word for a gas station.
It is, but it's the right one. The sources use a great analogy. Think of an old, grimy railway waiting hall. You're just impatient. You want to leave. Now compare that to a modern airport lounge.
Where the stay itself is part of the experience.
Exactly. It's a positive experience. Comfort, great Wi-Fi, premium service. That's the goal. You're turning that waiting time, that stop, from a frustration into something valuable.
That reframing is key then. So if the old world focused on the car's needs, the new world is all about the person's needs.
100%. The demand is shifting from what the sources neatly call coke, gas, and smoke
Yeah.
to a completely life-driven demand. And that's all about coffee, food, and comfort.
So the station becomes a one-stop shop for your daily needs, not just your cars.
And that's the strategic part. Operators have to start thinking outside of that quick 15-minute transaction. They have to integrate themselves into the customer's entire day.
Which brings us to what the sources call mobility missions. So we're not just selling a chocolate bar anymore.
No. You're serving a specific routine need. Think about the rhythm of the day. The morning mission is all about speed and quality. Barista-style coffee, a fresh breakfast you can grab and go.
And midday.
Midday shifts to proper nourishment. We're talking high-quality, fresh lunch options like bowls or good sandwiches.
And the evening, I'm guessing, is that last-minute stop on the way home?
Exactly. The evening top-up. You grab a few supplementary groceries, and you get to skip the crowded supermarket. It means the whole store format has to change.
This sounds like a massive operational leap, though. I mean, you're talking about managing fresh food, quality control, hiring people trained in hospitality, not just, handling cash. Does the money really justify that headache?
It does. And here's the surprising fact that proves it. It's already working. The sources cite pilot stations, like the Avec brand.
Okay.
And in these pilots, the food and beverage segment already contributes up to 63% of total revenue.
63%. Wait, so in some of these places, food and coffee are making nearly double what fuel and the regular convenience items make combined.
It flips the script entirely. That
Yeah.
63% figure, it's a massive signal to the whole industry. It says if you build the airport lounge instead of the railway hall, the customer will absolutely shift their spending.
So it's not a theory anymore.
Not at all. It's a proven revenue model.
Okay, that 63% is the engine for this whole $12 billion change. So let's get into the customer segments who are, driving and funding this. Who's first?
First up, and most critical for immediate profit, is the convenience maximizer. They are the core profit engine.
The time-poor professional.
Exactly. Their motivation is pure efficiency, time savings. They want the best of that one-stop concept, whether it's good coffee or those quick top-up groceries. They're the ones who drive the volume that makes these bigger fresh food formats work.
So the old mini supermarket idea is dead. This has to be a proper, tech-supported, fresh food retailer that gets the people are in a hurry.
Precisely. Now, if the maximizer is the profit engine, the second segment is the brand accelerator, and that's the digital natives.
This is where the future of the industry is, right? The young, mobile-first consumers who probably aren't even driving gas cars.
That's it. They're looking for experiences. The sources call it Instagram togliches. Food, food that looks good, that's shareable.
Right.
And get this key stat, because it changes everything. Only 25% of Gen Z even visit a gas station for fuel.
Only a quarter.
but 42% go for snacks and 31% for prepared food or hot drinks.
So for most of them, the primary reason to go is already food, not fuel. The car is almost an afterthought.
Correct. And that makes them the crucial piece for the EV revolution. When you charge an EV, you have 20, 30 minutes of dwell time.
You're stuck there.
You're stuck there. And that digital native expects that pause to be a high-quality experience. Fast Wi-Fi, comfortable seats, good food. The whole model is about turning that charging pause into a profitable, data-rich experience.
Okay, and the third segment is a sustainability-oriented customer. This one feels a bit different, less about volume, maybe more about brand image.
It's more about the long-term license to operate. It's a great way to put it. This segment is less about immediate profit and more about social trust. They want ethically sourced, low-waste, healthier options.
But is that segment big enough in Germany right now to justify the investment? I mean, are you talking about a real market or more of a PR move?
It's a real market. And the key is, while the volume might be lower, their spending power is disproportionately high. They will pay a premium for quality and for ethical standards.
So they're buying the purpose, not just the product.
Exactly. What stands out is they're buying values. And if you fail to meet that expectation, you don't just lose a sale, you risk your reputation. It forces you to become a purpose-driven brand.
So maximizers want speed, digital natives want an experience, and the sustainability-oriented want values. All three require a huge leap in quality.
Absolutely. And that demand leads us straight into this massive economic paradox in Germany. The sources call it the largest unused food service chance in Europe.
That is a very strong claim. How big is the gap we're talking about?
It's huge. Right now, Germany's convenience food service market share is only about 1 to 2% of the total out-of-home spend.
1 to 2%. And what's the benchmark?
The benchmark is the Nordic countries, Norway, Sweden. They're seen as the North Star for this model. Their market share is between 15 and 18%.
15 to 18, so more than a tenfold difference. That just suggests the German consumer is willing, but the product has been missing.
That is exactly the conclusion. The current market in Germany is about 2 billion euros. If they adopted the Nordic model, the projections are it could grow to 10, maybe even 12 billion euros.
A tripling or quadrupling of the market. The money is literally just sitting there.
It's sitting on the table. And we have proof the customer is ready. That's the 13 billion euro signal.
Right. Explain that. What is that signal telling the industry?
It's telling them the customer is already paying premium prices for freshness and convenience just somewhere else. That 13 billion is the projected food service revenue for German supermarkets by 2025.
So the supermarkets are filling the gap. The old myth that German consumers are just price sensitive and won't pay for a good coffee or a fresh bowl is, well, it's debunked.
Completely debunked.
Yeah.
The barrier was never the customer's willingness to pay. It was the poor quality, the weak food offered at gas stations.
It's a great analogy they use. Germany is like a modern stadium packed with hungry fans, but for decades, all that's been on offer is stale chips.
Exactly. The demand for professional catering is enormous. The infrastructure just needs to catch up.
Okay, so the opportunity is clear. The demand is proven. But scaling this, going from chips to a full-on restaurant operation, that's incredibly complex. So let's get into the how. The first unlock is standardization adopting the grocery model.
This is absolutely non-negotiable. To overcome that complexity, the Tankstellen must adopt the blueprints of the grocery retail sector, what they call the LEH. Quality has to be uniform everywhere.
And that rests on 4 pillars, right? Standardized processes, industrial supply chains, simple menus, and trained teams. It's basically the QSR model.
QSR, quick service restaurant consistency. It's essential. Think of the big fast food chains. Their strength is identical quality in Berlin or Boston. And that's because the complexity is managed centrally, not by the person at the counter.
Okay, so if standardization is the spine, then AI and analytics are the brain. How does AI actually help manage a kitchen with fresh, perishable food?
Well, AI shifts the whole model from being reactive, just opening the doors and seeing what happens, to proactive demand orchestration.
Demand orchestration.
Yeah. It's about predicting exactly how many lunch bowls you'll need on a Tuesday afternoon, factoring in weather, local events, even charging data.
And how does that apply to the EV customer?
That's a great example. So the AI monitors the car's charging status and location, and then it automatically triggers a personalized offer, say a coffee discount, sent right to the charging app.
So you're monetizing that guaranteed 25 minutes of dwell time.
Effectively and frictionlessly. But look, there's a challenge here. Germany has very high labor costs. If you're pushing for QSR consistency and real hospitality, How do you maintain margins without just automating everyone away?
They seem to be in tension.
They are. And the solution is in the next two levers, smart kitchens and frictionless retail. Smart kitchens are designed specifically to reduce that operational complexity.
What does a smart kitchen actually look like here?
It's all about modular equipment. It lets you get that QSR-like consistency even with less skilled staff because the complexity is built into the machines, not reliant on the chef. And it has to be modular, so it can scale from a small city station to a huge highway stop.
And frictionless retail. So getting rid of queues with mobile checkout or just walkout systems, we usually think of that as just being about speed.
Speed is a big part of it, but the strategic value is actually deeper. I mean, why eliminate friction? It's not just about speed. It's about freeing up your staff from being transactional shopkeepers.
So they stop being cashiers and start being hosts.
Exactly. They can focus on genuine hospitality, on ensuring the customer has a positive experience while they're on site. It elevates the entire role.
So we've covered the practical unlocks. But this shift from fuel vendor to hospitality retailer, that's a massive cultural change. It needs a new strategic framework. And the sources introduced this pivotal framework.
Yeah, this is the new management compass. Because the old models, like the 4Ps of marketing, they just don't capture the kind of long-term customer relationship you need for Foodvenience.
So what does pivotal actually connect in its infinity loop?
It connects the company side, which is purpose, innovation, and value, with the customer side. And that's about addressing their problems, building advocacy, and maximizing lifetime value.
So the loop ensures that every investment in tech, every operational choice is all geared towards building that purpose-driven brand.
Exactly. It's the strategic backbone. Look, the transformation requires a radical shift in thinking. Operators have to stop seeing themselves as a Ladenhaber, a simple shopkeeper.
And start acting like a technology-supported hospitality retailer.
That's the cultural leap.
What a monumental shift. We've gone from Coke, gas and smoke to these high-tech, hospitality-driven food hubs. The economic case is clear, and technology isn't just a support tool anymore. It is the business model.
So what does this all mean for you? Well, the future really belongs to those who can successfully connect energy, food, and technology into one seamless experience.
Yeah.
And consider this number as you think about the size of this opportunity.
Okay.
The German market currently sees 3 billion fuel station visits per year where the customer does not make a shop purchase.
3 billion with a B. 3 billion visits a year where someone just fills up and drives away. A totally missed opportunity.
Precisely. The real competition isn't just about stealing customers from other gas stations. It's about converting those 3 billion missed opportunities into profitable, hospitable experiences.
And that conversion is the ultimate measure of success.
It's the ultimate measure of relevance and success in the Foodvenience market of 2030.